So here are two ways, 2 steps or ways, whatever you prefer, that help you to relieve any anxiety that you're going through. I do this myself in my personal life with friends, family, or anyone when I need help. And I also coach my clients, and this works consistently. The first way is you've got to get it out. You've got to speak to someone that you trust and like. It's very important. You probably know that, right? You can't tell someone about a major anxiety that you're dealing with if, number one, they don't care, they're not listening, they're not empathetic, and they're going to be nasty or judgmental. You're wasting your time. So find someone that you can trust, whoever that is, and speak to them for as long as it takes. I usually find it takes several hours, about 2 hours, for someone to really get that relief, the reassurance that you need. Now the second part is really helpful. Find a way to move forward. Usually when we're going through an anxiety and it's really bothering us, whatever anxiety it may be, whether it's health, it's financial, it's mental, emotional, a breakup, a breakdown, or an imaginary fear, we feel like we can't move forward. The anxiety is so terrifying it won't let us, but usually it's not true. So I find when you apply to, you're doing the best possible thing. And let me touch on some things. You know, sometimes we get the argument today, and I see the merit in it, but I don't want to agree on it. Oh, talking about your problems is weak, you're being a victim, it's being negative. Now, it depends how you do it. Because yes, if someone's moaning all the time and complaining and they do nothing about it, that can be negative, and that can be being a victim, and that can tire everyone out. But it's very different if someone's genuinely and they're humble and they say, look, I'm really scared here, I'm struggling, I'm terrified. That's different, and I need someone to talk to. And that's when you get a therapist, or you speak to a family or a good friend, or you get a confidence coaching session with me if you need one. And then you say, how can I move forward? Because being a victim is when you just complain but you never move forward. But when you take the action and you do what needs to be done, it's the same like if you had a leak in your house. If the leak gave you anxiety because it made you feel stressed or disappointed, and you didn't speak about it and you didn't fix it, then you could say that's being a victim. But if you called someone up and said, look, I'm really worried about this leak, it's scaring me, it's stressing me out, and then you spoke to a parent, they made you feel better, and then you called up the plumber and he fixed the leak. That's what we're talking about today. So we talk about the problem, to relieve the problem, and to protect our mental health, because a problem not shared for a long time can lead to suicide. That's a fact. And a problem not shared for a long time can probably lead to health problems and terrible suffering, which isn't fair on anyone. But that saying, a problem shared is a problem solved, is true, but again, in the right way. And that's being a strong person. And for guys that think that they're not being men, you are being a man. That's not all of what being a man is, but being a man is having the courage to say, I'm frightened, this is bothering me, I've got to be vulnerable, I've got to get this out, I can't do it on my own. Speak to another man, a good man or a good woman, and then resolve it. So that knocks out the bullying ego that men suffer with. And the same for women. If women feel that they can't get it out, or anybody in that case, you deserve it to yourself. How are you going to solve a problem if you don't look at it and get it out? And it's painful keeping it in. I've heard many strong men and women say that, and I used to think that, and you don't get nowhere. So talk it out, get it out, do the therapy or the coaching conversation, whatever works for you. Everyone's different. There's been times where I didn't need therapy. I needed a conversation with my dad. That's what helped. Simple. I need a conversation with my mum, simple. I need a conversation with my brother. I need a conversation with my friend or my girlfriend, simple. Or I needed a conversation with God, simple. But there's been times where I've needed therapy. I've needed to go and see a professional to have a certain conversation. So you've got to find what's appropriate for you. And you go by what feels right. And if you don't know, speak to someone that you can trust that can give you good advice. And then take the action. So let's give you another example. So if I've got a terrifying fear of making a YouTube video because I'm really frightened that people will judge me, I'll get hated, trolled, laughed at, whatever, attacked, taken down, I'll speak to someone about that and say, this fear is ruining my life right now, it's driving me mad. I'll speak to them, I feel relief, I've got it out now, and if I really want to, and that's my passion, I'll go and make the YouTube video, done. So you understand the teaching, the premise. Confession, get it out with a trusted friend or a coach or any person. Or for me, I can even pray it out and then go and take the action that's required. Now, if you can't take the action, then get someone to facilitate and help you to take the action. So you could apply this to anything. This has saved my life in shame. The amount of clients that I've helped to solve so many problems in their life, whether it's financial, mental, emotional, could be in their head, it could be real, it's life-changing. And I think if we all did this, you know, I don't want to be cheesy, but maybe I'm going to be a bit cheesy. I'm from the 80s, right? I'm allowed to be. The world would be a better place if people were a bit more kinder and could let people get out what's bothering them and help one another to solve the problem. That's it, that's how you do it. It's life-changing. It's pretty simple, but I'll tell you what's difficult, and I'm going to end the video. The hardest part for people, men and women, but I'd say at times, sometimes more men because of the male ego, which guys have got to get past and grow up. Take the advice of our lovely mums, our nans, our girlfriends, other good people. Got to get past your pride, and that takes strength. You've got to have the courage to open up and be vulnerable and say, "This, I'm afraid of this. This is bothering me, and I don't want to be afraid of it, but I need some help here." That's not a weak person. Anybody says that's a weak person, what I'm going to say is, I'm going to pray for that person. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to pray for them. I'm sure a lot of you are smart. You know what I mean by that. Anyone that says that someone who asks for help, who has an anxiety and needs to speak it out and get help is weak, I'm going to pray for them. Because I know that that's not weak, that's very strong, all right? So like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is something that helps me in my life as well, and it helps my clients, and I know it will help you. If you've got a lot of value, subscribe to the channel, like, share. Let me know in the box below. You could also follow me on Instagram, where I educate and I teach people who have got anxiety how to be confident through fitness, communication, business. Basically, my goal on this channel is to help anxiety sufferers to go out and live their dreams despite their anxieties, and to do it and to share my story and be open and vulnerable and say that I have an anxiety disorder as well, but I choose to live my dreams every day regardless of it. And that's how I find happiness and peace and continue to get better and better and help more people. All right, speak to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.